Alright, let's take a look at some DeMusLiM replays. We've got the first one here, where he's going up against Lady Lina, aka ToRReN from Spain, who's a pretty good Night Elf. Definitely one of the Night Elves that gives me the harder time on the ladder. He plays Bears, he can play Demon and Keeper both, I think pretty damn well. I like the base builds. I think on this map, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of getting an Arcane Tower, to be honest, against Night Elf these days, because against Demon Hunter it's pretty much useless.
Ready for action.
And against Keeper it's good, but like Keeper doesn't really play aggressive, like it's like a long rush distance and everything, and if he goes for your main base, like unless you plan on expanding. But let's see, I think getting a Scout Tower is not the most massive investment. I think though that maybe starting third farm before the tower is better. Unless you really want to rush that tower. Falcon gifted a sub to DeMusLiM. Thank you very much, Falcon. Welcome to the fam, Ben. You now have access to some of the best emotes on Twitch, and I'm gonna add quite a few more very soon, and they're very good. So yeah, when you do this camp first, I think it's better, because this camp does a lot of damage compared to most camps that you would do first on a map. I like better using 6 militia personally. I think that one extra militia does quite a bit. And I also think that we need to learn as human players how to creep this properly. I think maybe the Water Elemental has to be completely first. Has to be the first thing that you attack with. And even though it's gonna die quicker and expire, at least you don't take a ton of damage on your militia. Also, I don't know if you know this, Ben, but there is a sick trick to prevent the creeps from attacking your militia. So let's say this peasant here is being attacked by this one and he's about to die, or he's taking a lot of damage. Instead of pulling it all the way back, you can select that peasant here for a second, do A and then left click on this one, and just before you hit you stop. And just because you try to attack your own peasant, this guy will then rotate and attack this one. So it's a very it took me a very long time, even though I knew about this trick before I started using it. It's really good for creeping these kind of bigger camps where the creeps are kind of messing up your units. Mr. Giant with the 400 bits, thank you very much. So yeah, just make sure you try that, Ben. I think you're gonna like it. It's like a really nice trick. Instead of having to send this back, they could have been there dealing a lot more damage to this, which you kind of need, without taking damage themselves. Redder healing, one of the pretty good items.
Forces are under attack.
And I guess since you took a bunch of damage on these guys, then getting the Arcane Tower now makes sense. 4th farm, so I'm gonna assume you might want to fast expand. I really don't like against the Keeper sending out a footman, but if you do send one, you need to pay close attention to it, because I think you can escape a lot of the time. Like, you're gonna have range to spot a Keeper from afar, and he's not gonna have range to entangle you, but you need to be very fast with it. Sometimes it's pretty hard. But not my favorite start, I guess I would say so far. Now he comes across the map to try and kill some footmen. Yeah, getting this denies is also super important here. I think like you attack with everything, and then as soon as you see that footman is likely to die, you start running back with Archmage so you can last hit that, because look at this. When this guy gets level 3, the real pain begins. If you can deny 3 footmen, you've delayed a lot the level 3 from this guy. So you need to be extremely careful. That's nice actually for you. He didn't spot that you were just tier 1, but he's still gonna play aggressive. That kind of forces him to come back, because he's not sure whether you're expanding or not. But you end up going for the tech. I think if you're gonna get an Arcane Tower and tech, it's better to stay on 3 farms. Now your tech was really delayed. Oh, he gets the XP as well. Jesus, what a... Not the best start. Even though you got good items.
Ready for action.
Now he shows up with the hunt. And also, like, if you go for a build like this, you're supposed to get Blacksmith now. Like, I think cut Footman at like 4 or 5. And now this is the 6th one, considering one of those died before. Like, you need to deny that, by the way. Okay, you're gonna get it, nice. Yeah, but Blacksmith is supposed to go up now, instead of one more farm. Like, you don't need one more farm, you have 30 out of 36. First Blacksmith, then one more farm, and you don't need this Footman. I mean, that's how I would play it.
Our forces are under attack.
Job done.
Close to level 3 now. Damn, this frog was blocking the whole way. What is going on? With the speed, I really like that. Is this ship serious? It's like blocking the wall here. Shop gonna go down. If you play against a Night Elf and you play like this and you don't get Blacksmiths, and they realize it, they're just gonna mass Dryads and absolutely smash you. Like you could literally have 2 Priests, 2 Sorceresses, 4 Breakers. If the opponent has 4 Dryads, you've lost the game. They're just gonna snipe all your casters, you have nothing that does damage to Dryads. Especially now you went Huntresses. It's even more reason to go Rifles. And usually, I've done that many times. You go Rifle, you go out in the middle of the map, they get entangled and they die. The best thing to do is to wait inside of your base with the Rifles until Mount Tanking's out. So now you go double Arcane Sanctum.
Job's done.
Yeah, I can say right now, I've tried this style before against Neutron and somebody else, like some other good Night Elf. And I got absolutely destroyed. So now the Blacksmith goes down, but it's so late.
Job's done. Job's done.
Who wants some?
I guess going double Arcane Sanctum does allow you to go for Dispel quicker, but your tech was delayed quite a bit. I think Militia here would be nice to help with that camp if that's what you want to do, which apparently is not the case. I think I would have criped this here every single time to get Mount Tanking level 2 right away.
I come to cleanse this land.
Yeah, Militia, because you got so many peasants anyway. So quite a few priests with this spell. I like this item. And then actually, because you saw Demon Hunter, I actually think that getting Bash might be better there. But I'm not
Job's
sure.
done.
Locked and loaded.
Are you gonna expand just like that? There's not a single rifle out, by the way, yet. Oh no, a single one. One. Yeah, look at his army. He has 1 Dryads. And he's getting a second one and then a bear. If you realize that this is your army, and that you went double Arcane Sanctum, I think he makes 4 Dryads, then he makes 6 Dryads. And then your only good thing in your army, your Archmage, becomes useless, Water Elementals disappear, he snipes all of your priests, and then you've lost the game. Yeah, you went Bash, I like that. Had a very bad start this game, yeah. I mean, you took some damage on the peasants, but they didn't die, at least in the start. He did steal a little bit of XP. I think like if you take damage on the peasants and they don't die, I don't consider that as being a part of the bad start, right? Because they didn't die. It almost doesn't matter that they took a bunch of damage. So Breaker Rifle production now on the way. He scouted the expo, so he takes his own. Gets staff, orb. Damn, the no tower is very ambitious. I don't think I ever not get a tower here.
Our forces are under attack.
Job's
TP
done.
here, I guess. Yeah. I would say if you know there is a Demon Hunter, are you gonna get a second Stormbolt on time here? If you know there is a Demon Hunter. I mean, later on, obviously, when you have a big army, get Invis, because then you can Stormbolt and then Invis on your MK, but get an Invuln as well. Because then you can Stormbolt the Demon, Invuln, and then you might be able to have two more Stormbolts. Yeah, targeting a hero with greater healing is not his finest idea. I think this attack was pretty bad. He barely had, like... He wasn't even over 50. As soon as you TP'd, you should have just run and staffed whatever was getting caught. Like you were in a good position as well. You have an Eno Priest now to remove like the Treants and everything. And also his Huntress army, like he overmade Huntresses this game. It was really silly. I think he made like what, 4? I think the only moment you should make 4 Huntresses here, if you're Night Elf, is if you want to pure mass Dryads with expand behind this. So get like, you know, 8 to 12 Dryads and then try to fight a lot. But getting that many hunts, like in this fight, that was terrible. Like they did nothing. So he played a weird style here for sure. I think the Ancient of the Wind's very good. If you can get to... If you can match your supply and has Fairy Dragons, he's actually in a very decent spot, but... I'm looking at the supply here, I'm doing my thing, 67 to 40, it's looking pretty bad for him now. Boots much better on MK, I think, also. I think now would be a good time to get training for Sorcruses. You already got 70.
Smell magic.
And again, MK can be invis at the start of the fight, Stormbolt Demon, be invis again. No, no.
Our forces are under attack.
Oh, you caught him. Where is he at?
Job done.
49 supply. Damn, he's really broke, it feels like. His expo was so late compared to yours. It's crazy to think that if you would have made 6 Dryads, like, you would have died super hard. He kinda went on autopilot.
Research.
He tries to base trade. You go for the TP. Do you have enough to repair? Ooh, militia. Yeah, he lost quite a bit here, and like you supply blocked him before, so even though he killed your expo, you can just remake it. But it looks like he's gonna try to do moon style and run around. Which, to be honest, might be his best shot. I don't know why he's standing there. He should just be running up here and like looking to try and base trade. I like what you did though. You probably realized that was gonna happen, so you ran immediately for that tree. You didn't waste any time, so you ignited the base trade. Like, he lost half HP on his Tree of Eternity before he even got to your main. Okay, this is not a good position. Oh my god. If you didn't get that, I actually think you might be losing here. Because even though you got 74 supply, he's getting this base. And he would still have this one, so it'd be on 3 bases.
Our forces are under attack.
And he still has the Shredder. So then that means he can get to 80, get more upgrades. So that was super important for you to get that. You would be on 1 base against 3. So then the base trade favors him more. Yeah, he already had the building upgrades. What is he doing? He's not remaking main. He's just gonna saturate that.
Our warriors have engaged.
I don't. Why the fuck is he re-engaging here? By the way, that's. I hate this. When the Mountain King gets trapped like this, it's the worst. Why is he re-engaging here? I feel like he should just be running. Maybe because everything's clumped together, but it's not like he has a panda for mass AoE. Yeah, you're gonna move this. MK is gonna get at the front. You've got healing scrolls. Like, this is a terrible fight for him. Oh my fucking god. No way.
Our champion has fallen.
Okay, well. I feel like this guy is looking a lot worse than Eidos versus me versus you, apparently, so maybe I should get some coaching from you, Ben.
At last, we shall.
Our sacred grove is being desecrated.
I can't believe he re-engaged. Like, every time that he was attacking somewhere and you TP'd, I think his move is just to run away. And then staff whatever is getting caught. You only have 1 Stormbolt. Whatever you slow, he can abolish.
Ah, the great outdoors.
I don't think you realize you're like a sick player on Warcraft 3.
Ah, the great outdoors.
And the demon didn't belong in this world. See, even now you don't have that many rifles. Those Dryads, they're almost like reign supreme. If you had made like more Dryads, this game would have been pretty interesting to see. I still think that Demon Hunter second, unless you're like doing really good in the early game and then you're planning on snowballing, I don't think that going Demon Hunter second like this is good in a game like this.